What's going on out there today? YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you're watching this at. Before we get started, if you don't mind, hit the like and subscribe, follow, whatever button you got there. Today we're going to be looking at the Talion from Pulsar. It's their new budget-friendly scope. It's coming in at $2,500, $24.99, however you want to look at it. It's a 384, 288, 17 micron scope. I mean, I've been using it here for a little while. Midwest Thermal Optic sent me one down to do a little demo work. We shot a few pigs, and I think I got a coyote. I'm not a very good shot on coyote, so we got one or two. Probably could have got more if I could shoot better, but it is what it is, you know. I'm gonna show you what comes in the box when you buy it, and we got some video for you to watch. So let's get started. All right, it'll come in a box, nice box from Pulsar, just like it always does. And then you got your soft case. All right, well, that kind of didn't go as planned, but of course you've got your scope. And the first thing you're gonna say, probably like everybody else, is, man, that thing looks like a flashlight. And I tell you, it did look a little weird at first, but after I put it on my gun and we used it a little bit, it kind of grew on me. It's not quite as bad once you get it on a gun and use it a little while. So don't let that deter you from getting one. This one has a quick detach mount. I don't know if when Pulsar finally releases these, if they're gonna have a quick detach or it's gonna be like a normal tighten down type mount. I haven't heard what's coming yet, because you know these haven't been released just yet, but they're working on it. All right, so there's the scope. You've got your rubber eye cup. It goes on the back of the scope like this. It just kind of snaps on there. Wall plug right here. Comes with one standard with one APS-5 battery. Now, I will say this about the battery before we get any further. If you're running the XQ38 handheld scanners from Pulsar, these are not the same batteries. They look kind of like a lot alike, but they won't fit. You can't use your scanner battery in the scope and your scope battery in the scanner. It won't work. So if you ordered an extra battery for one of the two, make sure you get the one for the right application that you're using it for. Then you've got your block to charge with. Then you've got your charging cord. Now, if you see this end, it will not fit your wall plug or your base until you open it up. Then it is a type C. It will now fit your wall plug and your base. So when you see it, don't think you got the wrong cord, because it comes off. So you can use this, like what I did is I use this end when I'm at the house and it's in the wall charging my batteries. And then if I needed to, I can do like this, and I can put it in my pickup on like you charging your phone. And then I could charge a battery up a little bit if I needed to, which I never ran a battery out, but you know, it's something you can do. So that's that. All right, we're gonna get to some videos. I'll show you, I mean, I'm in East Texas. You're gonna see anything from, say, 85% humidity, to 98% humidity. I mean, it's humid down here. It's hot. It's still 90-something degrees. It's raining off and on. So these aren't the best weather conditions to be using a scope in, but they kind of are, because you're gonna see what the worst conditions are for this scope. Excuse me, I will say that, and I probably could have adjusted it a little bit more, but it kind of struggles a little bit with the humidity, but I mean, every scope struggles a little bit with humidity. But you got to think about what you're getting, or what you're paying for what you're getting. And you'll see in one of the videos, I did shoot a pig out. It was 238 yards when I shot the pig. So those shots are not I don't know. you'll be able to shoot a lot further than you can see with the scope. So don't let that, you know, kind of deter you from buying it. If you want it, this is going to be a good budget-minded, entry-level scope that packs a lot of stuff. I mean, you're talking about, I think, 8 or 10 color palettes. I think 3 rifle profiles, if I'm not mistaken. Your 2.5 base magnification, picture-in-picture. I mean, you get a lot of stuff for very little money, you know. And I think this scope is going to replace like the cores that they had, and you know, and it gives you a lot of battery life. We're talking about they say 9 hours. I ran this one for 6 or 7, and I still had like a quarter of a battery left. And I started hunting at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I turned the scope on. I never turn it off. It's on automatic nuke. I mean, it runs all night long. It sits in the back of my pickup, or it sits in the back of the side-by-side, and we ride around. We look for stuff to, you know, we look for pigs and whatnot. So we'll get to some video, and I'll come back and I'll go over how everything works on the scope. I'll tell you what I kind of do like and what I kind of don't like. So stay tuned.
Alright, I'm gonna stop you. Hey, pig. Alright, are y'all on him? 3, 2, 1.
All right, so we're back. I think I'll give you a few more of the specs. I didn't really go over that in the first part of the video. And I'm just gonna read them straight out of this is the owner's manual that comes with it. It's a 384-288 core. It's 17 microns, it's 50 hertz. You know, AMOLED display of 1024. So, you know, all that's great. And, you know, some of the videos you've seen there was a great image, and then some of them were, you know, somewhat a little grainy, but, you know, overall, I mean, it's a great image. It's really hard to beat for $2,500. You know, like, I mean, and I tell people this all the time, like, even when you buy the $2,500 one and you use it for a while, it don't matter if you spend $15,000 on one, you're always gonna want something a little bit better. But this is a great scope for people who want to get into thermal hunting. You know, like, you've got a 500-acre pasture and hogs are tearing it up. Or, you know, you don't have the 25,000 acres that a lot of these guys are hunting every night, every weekend, you know, and just going and blowing. And you want a thermal, but you don't want to spend $5,000 or $6,000 or $10,000. And you just want something you can, you know, throw in the truck and go right around your place. You know, you've got a couple hundred acres, you've got some woods, you know, whatever it is, or you're a farmer and they're tearing up your land or your crops, you know, and you want to just go out there and shoot a few of them. This right here is probably the scope for you. You know, it'll do well. It's going to do really, really well whenever it's not so deadgum humid out there. But I'm telling you, the humidity kills anything. Any of these thermal scopes, and maybe not so much the higher end ones, but, you know, like, because I also have an adder, and, you know, I mean, the humidity hurts it too. So don't let that deter you or say, oh, it's not a good scope. It is. It's just weather conditions, and they affect them all. So anyway, 2.5 power base magnification. You can see when you pull up the picture-in-picture, it's already at 5. So that gives you a magnification without having to hit any buttons once you turn on the picture-in-picture. It says detection distance is 1,350 or 1,476 yards is what it says detection. I don't even have a place I can see that far, so I couldn't tell you if that was right or not. You do have a objective focus. It will focus. But 9 times out of 10, when it was lined up right here, it was focused. You do have a diopter focus right back here on the back. It's kind of hard to move. It'll be a little bit harder if you have your eye cup on here. So that's that. All right, battery installation. You've got a lock right here. You unlock it, and this pops open. And you'll see on your battery, it has there's a little trough that comes out on the battery, and it slides down in here, slides down in there, and you close it up, you lock her up. Here's your power button, just press and hold it, comes on, you know, it says Pulsar, comes on, yada, yada, yada. All right, so when you have your scope on, you've got magnification, record, and your menu button. So if you want to change your color palettes or your crosshairs or anything like that when you're out hunting, you know, you would press and hold your menu button a long press, and it pulls up your main menu. And then you have a dial right here that turns, and you'll roll through everything. And like you go to, say it's on black hot, you want white hot. Well, you long press this, the menu button, brings up your main menu, you roll to your color palettes, short press, then roll through your color palettes, and then short press again to select that color palette. All right, if you're out in the field and you just want to mess with your contrast or your brightness or your zoom, short press, and that'll go into a sub, I call it a sub main menu. It's a short main menu, really. I don't know exactly what they call it, but that's what I call it. and you'll be able to you click through to say zoom or contrast or brightness, and you use this dial to dial everything however you want it. All right, it's your magnification button. Long press it and it'll bring up picture in picture. All right. Long press it and it takes picture in picture away. Short press and it'll just jump from 2.5 to 5 to 10, straight up through there. All right. So if you wanted to zoom, and this is one thing that I don't really like about the scope, it's probably the only thing that I don't like about the scope, is if I wanted to zoom, I've got to short press this button to bring up, it'll say 2.5 on the right hand side of the screen, and then you got to roll and zoom in. Or if you already have picture in picture up there and you want to zoom a little more, you short press it and then you roll and it'll zoom up the picture in picture, but it doesn't zoom up the main screen. And again, I think you should be able to roll this while you're looking through the scope and it zooms. Just like the thermions on the side on the left turret, you roll it and it zooms right up. That's probably the only thing that, and it's not really a dislike, it's just something that I personally don't like. Some people may be all right with it, but I mean, if you got 2.5 and you got 5 in the picture in picture, I mean, you're zoomed in a lot anyway. I just feel like you should be able to zoom without hitting any buttons. But I will say that the thing I do like about it more is that when you zoom, it goes 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, so on and so forth. So you can zoom a little without having to zoom a lot. So like my adder, when I zoom from 4 to 8, when I zoom, I hit the left turret and it goes from 4 to 8. I don't have anything in between. So I'm either, at 4 power or I got to jump way to 8. This scope here, you can, just you can go to 3 power if you want to, and you can set it to 3 power and leave it there. And if you wanted a 3 power scope, for whatever you're hunting at night, I like a bit more magnification than most everybody else does. I hunt a lot of pigs, but I'm wanting to get in more to coyote hunting, and we do have a lot of coyotes around here. So, I mean, the 4 power on my adder or on other scopes is a bit much for pigs at say 65, 100 yards even. It's a bit much, but if I'm trying to shoot a coyote at 200 or 250 yards that won't come in, I don't necessarily have to zoom in. You're going to want a little bit of zoom if you're trying to make those shots with this. But on the fly, you can't just reach up here and zoom. So you got that. Anyway, your record button, you long press it, it'll get you into a camera if you just want to take just a still picture. And then if you're in the camera, you long press it and it'll take you to video. When you want to start videoing, you just short press it and it'll start videoing. And then when you get through whatever video you want to video, you long press it to cut the video off. And again, also, it only comes with 1 battery from the factory. So if you were out longer than 9 hours, you have a little port right here that you can hook a battery pack up to, and you can charge it. And you can also charge this battery in the scope through this port. Now, I personally like to take the battery out and put it in the base, and charge it that way. But if you were out and you were in a bind, you're hunting a tournament or something, and you're hunting 12 hours and your battery runs out and you only have the 1, you can run a battery pack off this. Of course, this is your lens cover. But other than that, I mean, it's a great scope. Like I said, you get a lot of extras and don't really have to pay that much more money for them. Like I said, I feel like this is going to be your entry level, budget-minded, budget-friendly, just a jam-up scope for no more money than you got to pay for it. It's really great. It's going to give the competition something to, I hate to say fear, but it's going to give the competition, the AGMs, the Rattlers, those are all good scopes. I personally think this is better than a Rattler. and everything I'm saying is my personal, is me. It's what I think. Nobody's paying me to say anything. So anyway, with that being that, I'm gonna get out here. But last but not least, if you need one of these, if you need any thermal, a thermal, 2 thermals, 10 thermals, scanners, whatever you need, contact Curtis or Rhonda at Midwest Thermal Optics. They'll get you hooked up with anything you need. And I'm telling you, they ship faster than Amazon. It's no joke. Day or night, you know, they're really good people to deal with. I'll put their link in my description on this video. I know this has been a long video, but this is the first time I've tried to do anything like this, so hopefully it's informative. If you have any questions or comments, shoot them in the comments, whatever you need to do. You can find me at Facebook, BTA Outdoors. I am on TikTok, even though they don't let me show a lot of videos. And I'm on Instagram and, of course, YouTube. It's all BTA Outdoors. Thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button if you don't mind. And y'all have a good day.